Welcome to a new episode of Ausfahrt.tv in English. I'm sorry guys, my English won't get better. Please excuse my strong accent and all the Z in between. However, my message goes out to all the BMW purists out there. Hell froze over. BMW is presenting the first front-wheel drive car. Okay, are you still breathing? Well, here we got the 2series Active Tourer. I call it a compact minivan from BMW with, hold it, front-wheel drive. We are here in Austria today, in a beautiful surrounding, and I have the chance to give you a little walk through this new baby, and I hope you enjoy it. To the market start, BMW is launching the Active Tourer with 3 different engines. We have 2 gasoline engine and 1 diesel. I'm sorry for you all that I picked the diesel one, but I was really interested how it drives. So this baby here, the 218D, has 150 horsepower that come from a 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel engine, and it gives you a maximum torque of 330 Newton meters. BMW is offering 2 gasoline engines. First one, very interesting, is a 3-cylinder that they didn't have here. If they had it for the presentation, I would have chosen this one because I'm really interested. And a 2-liter 4-cylinder gasoline engine, that is a 225i, which would have been more fun probably to drive around, but I'm a diesel fan, so we have to deal with this car and we stick with it. You know, German premium car manufacturer stands for really nice cars that you can load with a lot of options. Options, of course, means you have to pay extra. So you have a base price and then you can configure the car the way you want it. And most likely it costs a lot of more when you're done. Whenever we get test cars from the manufacturers on the press test drive, they're most likely fully loaded, or at least loaded in a way that they appear really nice on camera or on the pictures. So same here. Our car has the sport line. You have 4 different style lines that you can choose from. All have different options that comes by the factory setting. And of course we have different options. I don't even know the prices yet, but for instance, this B-LED lights right here, full LED, full LED headlights that are optional, but they look really nice, don't they? Let me start walking around the car to prove you it's a BMW, not only by the badge on the hood. So here we have the typical BMW front, of course. So in the rear mirror you can really see it is a BMW. So BMW calls the Active Tourer a compact premium car. I still call it a compact minivan from a premium car manufacturer. But looking on the side, I think everyone at once recognizes it is a BMW. Or at least by the 2 lines. And if you blink with your eyes a little bit, at least that's what I think, it looks a little bit like a stance version of an X5, like really lowered. What did BMW do? Well, first of all, we have a front wheel drive. The engine is turned in a 90-degree angle. Excuse me. We have what you obviously see, a really long wheelbase. And we have a high roof line. So all the 3 things together give you a lot of space in the inside. And I think even from the back, there's no doubt this is a BMW. It looks a little bit like a mixture between the 1 Series and some of the SUVs, some from the X Series. And of course we have full LED rear lights. And very important for a compact premium car, a huge trunk. But later more to this. I think I will invite you to follow me inside so I can show you around the interior. What I enjoy with my, 43 years is the way I can enter the car. You know, most sports car, you just kind of crawl in. Here you easily, really easily just enter the car with ease, you know, even with my high age. No problems with the back, no problems with the knees, not even problems with closing the door. So any doubt this is a premium compact car? I don't think so. We have really nice material everywhere. Okay, this is not leather coated, but still it's soft touch and it feels pretty nice. We have this glossy black applications everywhere, which actually I don't like because you see your fingerprints, you know, at once, and it's like a dust magnet. And what I enjoy, we have the sport line, I told you, we have this red stitching everywhere, you see it everywhere, and it gives the car a really sporty look from the inside. My first impression when I first got into this car is, wow, how much space. I really have lots of space. I mean, I lowered the seat to the very bottom right now. I'm 5'11", 180 centimeters tall, and look how much headspace I have. Not only to the top, but to the front as well, to the side. It's really nice. And even if someone is sitting in the passenger seat, you still don't have a feeling that you're sitting in a tight compact car. It really feels nice, especially from the windscreen that goes down far up there. You have more space to the front. It really feels spacious. We have a compact car. And driving a compact car, you do it most likely in the city, so you have to have a good view everywhere. If I check the mirrors, I can see my surrounding pretty well, even from the mirror here. The window in the back is pretty, well, it's not pretty big, but it's big enough to have a good look what's going on behind. And even if I turn my head and look around my shoulder, I can see everything. Yes, in the very back we have a big stripe, but that's okay. What I did not like, see, they invited us to Austria, so we have this curvy mountain roads, and driving up the mountain roads, we have this thing right here, and it's pretty huge. So if you look, you know, you're trying to get the curve and look if traffic coming up, this is really disturbing. Most likely in everyday use in the city, this won't bother you too much. And BMW, they're really proud of this little triangle windows right here, that they're supposed to give you a little bit more view. Well, it's better than having nothing here, but it's not that exciting either. We have two round gauges in the middle here. We have the speedometer up to 260. And we have a RPM meter to 6,000 RPMs. You can read them easily. You have a little display right between them that gives you a little bit more information, like from the computer. We have the entertainment display, which I really like. It's, I think, 6.5 inch big, but very wide, and it's a very crisp picture. And since the whole middle part is a little bit turned towards the driver, you can read all the information with ease. It's really a good feeling and it's not disturbing. For an extra goodie, BMW gave us this thing here. It's a little shield that folds up once you start the engine or the ignition at least, and that's the head-up display. They're not projecting the information in the windscreen itself, but on this little sheet right here. At first I was a little bit irritated. I've seen this in a Mazda 3, and to be honest, I told you in the video I was saying I didn't like it too much because the information was not clearly and you couldn't really read it well. BMW did a better job. The information that is projected in this little display, you get your current speed, the speed limit, and the direction from the GPS/navigation system, and it's easy to read. So yes, I like it a little bit more if it's right in the windshield, so you don't have to lower your eyes at all. But this way you don't have to lower your eyes to the gauges right here. It's just a little, you know, like just a tip. and it's not disturbing you too much from what's going on in the streets. When you read the press release about the Active Tourer, you get the impression that BMW is very, very proud about all the storage facilities in the car. Storage facilities. I would just call them compartments. Anyhow, let's, check them out real quick. In the door panel, we have enough space. Now, hold your breath. For 3 different bottles. So BMW claims you can get a 1.5 liter bottle in the door panels at least. I say you get at least 2 1 liter or 2 1.5 liter and a half a liter bottle in there, which is, if you need to drink a lot, that's a good place to store them. Well, we have 2 cup holders here in the middle as well, but I'm not too happy with them. Because first of all, just a can or half a liter bottle fit in there and then they, fubble around. I don't like that too much. But, okay, since I'm here, we have a 12 volt outlet at the cup holders. We have a alright big sized little compartment here. And here we have aux in and a USB port. And in the armrest that you can, adjust a little bit. Oops. Right here we have a holder for the iPhone. If you don't order this, you will have a little bit more space right here. Then, right in front of the stick, and I'm driving a stick shift, we have a compartment that you can open as well, and you have a little bit more space, or a little secret compartment right there. What I think is annoying, if you want to close it, you have to have really fingernails to get this thing down again. We have a gloves compartment, of course, which is, as usual, not really big, but big enough to store all your papers. And I think you can even cool it right here. We have sunshades with makeup mirrors that are illuminated by LED lights. We have, of course, reading lights for the left and the right, and a big light, an entry light. And we have handles on all 4 doors. But that's it. But I think for a compact premium car, that is a lot of storage indeed. Here's a trick. If your wife likes the car and you don't, just mute the clip right here and, show it to her. Like, look, there's no leg room for a grown-up in the back. There's plenty of headspace still, but no leg room. Well, the driver's seat is put in a position that I can drive very comfortable. I'm 180 centimeters / 5'11", and I have no leg room here. Okay, and now you should turn off the clip when I do this. Because I can just, scoot back with the whole seats, and on the other side as well, of course. This way you can choose, do you need a lot of room in the trunk, or do you need a lot of leg space? And now, as I sit here, I have plenty of leg room and plenty of head space, and I sit here very comfortable. BMW claims that 3 grown-ups can sit here easily and with ease. I say no. 2 grown-ups fit in the back all right, and they can, drive forever, really long drives, but not a person in the middle. Because we just jumped in there yesterday, the 3 of us, and I'm putting this over here so you can see it, and sitting in the middle for a grown-up is no fun. Anyhow, once you sit in the back, you still have a kind of comfort. First of all, in the door panels, you have enough space for 2 bottles at least, or 1 big bottle and some other stuff. We have a 12 volt outlet right here to charge the kids' Nintendo or your iPhone. And better of placing a grown-up here would be using the armrest. And there's a little compartment right here. And we have 2 cup holders, and I think even, well, maybe even a bigger bottle. Let me see. Even a 1 liter bottle fits in here all right. And thinking about kids, they might want to read while you have a long drive at night, so you have reading lights in the ceiling that are not too bright, but bright enough to read something right here. I told you we have handles on all 4 seats, and that's about it. So, no, one more thing, and that's something I really like. You have, I don't know where it is. Oh, you have little lashes right here for every seat, and once you pull the lash or the leash, I don't know, the seat flips forward in order you can, flip it totally. But as well, you can say, okay, I don't want to sit so lean back. I want to sit a little bit straighter. And especially on long drives, I like to adjust my seat every once in a while to reduce the pain of my back. That's a neat thing. Who's sitting most likely in the back? Well, the kids, of course. So you have Isofix things to place your child seats in a very safe way. The locks of the belts are pretty stable, so kids can buckle up easily. You have windows that roll down almost fully in the door, so you can even, put your elbow outside. No, my kids don't like it if the windows stand up too much. You have a pretty nice view outside, so if you have a longer drive and the kids want to look outside, they can look pretty good without, turning their heads too much. And if you roll up the window and something is in between, it rolls down automatically, so there's a safety protection. So we have the spacious, compact, premium car. Spacious, a lot of space, but can we store really stuff in there? Most cars are really big, but then if you want to load anything in there, it says, well, just 200 kilograms. Not here. The Active Tourer allows you to store up to 620 kilograms inside the car. And I say, wow, 620 kilograms, that's a lot. Some of the stuff you want to place in the trunk, of course. You have various possibilities to open the trunk. There's a little switch in the driver's door. There's a button right here. We have a button on the key, and if you have the key in your pocket and the option booked, you can, do this kick under the bumper, which I don't do anymore because the car doesn't open. I'm 180 centimeters tall, so 5'11", so ouch, see, that's what I mean. So you have to watch a little bit if you go to the car or to the trunk, especially if you're taller than 180. So, anyhow, as you can see here already, we have lots of space for luggage. We have carry-on luggage right here and 2 bigger suitcases. So the whole car, or the whole trunk, when you have all the back seats to the very end, there's space for 468 liters. I removed the other luggage to show you the trunk. Well, we have a floor that you can lift up, and there's another compartment that should at least swallow another carry-on luggage. We have a 12-volt outlet in the trunk, so if you want to carry your cooler, you have power here. And we have 2 buttons that makes the back seats flip. Once the back seats are flipped, you don't have a really plain surface, but it's almost plain. And you can carry goods that are 1 meter wide and up to 140 centimeters long. Once you flip the back seats, you have space for 1,510 liters of luggage. I think that's a lot. Adding the 620 kilograms you can put inside the car, that fits all right, and the whole concept is well done, I think. Well, I think BMW didn't choose the name Active Tourer for no reason. Active means, of course, hey, are you young, fresh and active people? Are you doing sports? That's the right car for you. And I think the trunk alone shows that you can put a lot of your stuff in there, like mountain bikes and so on. If you rather put the bikes on the roof, you have certain systems you can buy from BMW, and you can put up to 75 kilograms on the roof. Or if you do something else, you can put something on the hook, if you have a hook. So 75 kilograms you can place on the hook, or you can pull trailers up to 1,300 kilograms if they have their own brakes. Some of you might think, well, they built one front-wheel drive now, they just dump it and forget about it. I've heard rumors that the new 1 Series will have front-wheel drive as well, so you might want to get used to this idea. I will now hop in the car and drive a little bit and tell you about the experience I have with this front-wheel drive compact premium minivan BMW. Active Tourer, 2 Series, whatever. Well, you might have noticed that I only said Active Tourer the whole time. Actually, it's the BMW 2 Series Active Tourer. So before anyone asks me why 2 Series, please just leave me alone. I don't understand either. But I understand how to drive a stick shift, and here we go. Well, how do I start? Surprisingly, the car drives like a front-wheel drive. Woo, how amazing. No, seriously, I know a lot of you are like, oh, it's not a real BMW because it doesn't have rear-wheel drive. Let's see, what else do we have that stands for BMW cars? Dynamic driving, sporty driving. Well, I call this Active Tourer a family compact minivan. So how sporty do I want to drive in a compact minivan? As sporty as I can, of course, and surprisingly it works. It's a very sporty drive in terms of we are driving a compact minivan. It really is. It's fun. The transmission comes as a 6-speed manual drive. That's what I have right now. I'm shifting myself. That works pretty well. The ways of while you change the gears are very short, and the transmission itself, the shifting ways are very precise. So it's quite fun to shift. But you don't have to shift so much if you don't want to. See, we have this what we call in Germany Fahrerlebnisschalter, even in the Active Tourer, so the driving experience switch, where I can switch between Eco Pro for most economic driving, over comfort to sport. I was talking to a guy from BMW last night, and he was like, I don't know, maybe it's the age, but I really enjoy this Eco Pro drive because, you know, I can measure how much fuel I can save on my daily way to work. And that's exactly what I mean. If you go on Eco Pro, you don't have to shift that much. You just go in 5th gear and drive your daily way, which is pretty easy and very silent, by the way. It's a very silent drive. I enjoy this very much. No disturbing noise. Yes, you hear the diesel engine, of course, a little bit, just like every other diesel engine, but it's very silent. So even thinking about driving a long way, which, you know, noise is starting to annoy you and distract you from driving, not in the Active Tourer. That's a very silent drive, and especially if you go in Eco Pro, it's really cool and easy. It's an easy drive. Once you switch in sport, you can really use a shift stick to have some fun, to drive sporty. I'm right now on a curvy mountain road, and I have to watch the traffic as well, but yesterday night when I went up here, you know, I put it in sport and was really going fast through the curves, and I had a lot of fun. So even the suspension allows you to go very sporty, which is quite fun too. The steering is very precise, so the steering wheel itself is a little bit big. I think it's a little bit big, but it's right for the car, and in proportion to the car it's a right size. Still you have a good grip and you can drive through the curves with ease. The steering itself is put in a way or constructed in a way that once you go in slow traffic, like parking lots or trying to park your car, it's really easy to handle. You can almost steer with your fingertips, while when you're on the highway or the autobahn, you need a little bit more force to really change the direction, which is right because you want to go straight on the highway. So no complaints about that either. I know that diesel engines are not so popular outside Germany, which I really don't understand, because diesel is always my first choice. In my opinion, it's more efficient and you always have more torque and it's more fun to drive. Even so, the sound is not as much fun as having a V8, for instance, or a 6-cylinder gasoline engine. So the sound in here is, well, forget about it. It's not pleasing your joy of driving, at least. The Active Tourer comes with certain assist systems, at least if you book it fully loaded. Depending on the options you choose, you can have lane keeping assist, which is making the steering wheel vibrate once you cross lines that you're not supposed to cross, or you're crossing the middle line, for instance, without using the turning signal. You can have a blind spot warner, of course. Of course, you can order the Active Tourer with the big connected drive system, so you have everything that you want and need in your infotainment system, like internet access, office applications, well, the whole thing you get from from all the other BMWs. The display itself, it's kind of neat. Well, I kind of like it because it's freestanding, so it's a little bit alike what Mercedes does. But the way BMW is implementing it, in my opinion, and I'm a Mercedes fan, is a little bit better. It looks better. It looks more value, higher value. It looks premium. And the display itself is really good. It's very sharp. It's you have hardly no reflection. Well, you have reflection, but they don't bother you. Right now I'm seeing the back window, but it's not disturbing from the information I get on the screen. BMW claims that the diesel engine, the 218D, only needs 4.3 liter on 100 kilometers. Well, yesterday our fuel consumption was rather like 6.6 liters, but then again we tried out the sport mode, and going up and down here in Austria does take a little bit more fuel. So back to the Eco Pro mode, it is recuperating, which you actually just know from electric cars. Here it charges the battery too, was a normal battery, and that helps your mileage, because the generator does not need to put more power on the battery, and so this way you save some fuel. I find myself here sitting in the car staring at this little display in Eco Pro where it tells me, okay, you just saved 1.6 kilometers of fuel just driving an Eco Pro and shifting the way you're supposed to. Another thing which helps you saving fuel too, even it sounds rather sporty, is that when you shift and you don't have enough RPM for the next gear or for the gear that you're shifting down, it gives you a little bit RPM by itself. So you might know this like from the Nissan 360Z. Does something else, it keeps you always in the right RPM for shifting. Well, the Active Tourer does this too, and it's even funny and a sporty feeling when you shift and the engine goes in between all by itself. So how much more water has to go down the river before BMW builds a front wheel drive? Not a single drop. I hope you enjoyed our little review. Please give us comments if you want to know more about the cars and we can help you out. I appreciate every damn like you give me. And if you haven't so, please subscribe our channel because we offer English car reviews every now and then. I say goodbye, au revoir und tschüss. To the market start, BMW, but later more to this. I think, I'm sorry. The first impression when I get into the car, I have lots of space. So it's I'm 181 meter. No, we have belt. If the kids plays, oops, super. Yeah. It's the next generation of the 1series. By the way, you might have noticed I always just said active tourer. Well, you might have noticed, fuck. Well, you have, oops.